Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden and I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Zentangle Original Tangle Beeline. This is one that I especially like because I put it kind of in the category kind of 3D, optical illusion. I know some call it op art. So I'm putting my four corners in here on my little bijou tile. And a squiggly border, because I like to do a squiggly border. You don't have to do any of that if you choose not to. All right, this one starts off with lines, just straight lines. So pick whatever direction that you want this to go, and straight lines. This one too, you know, my step outs are kind of large. I may redo them. It just takes a while. So this first set that are on there, they'll just be replaced. If they end up being real small, then you'll go, oh, okay, she redid those. I kind of like them big so you can see, but at the same time, some of these tangles seems like they're more suited towards being a little bit on the smaller side, not as ginormous as what I drew. All right, so a bunch of lines. Now we're gonna do a zigzag. So while this tangle is easy, at the same time, we have to pay attention to which direction our zigzags are going. So start off with any direction, essentially, that you want. So I'm going to start here towards this end. And just every line, you are changing direction. Just like that. And then I'm going to get my little partials there. Okay. Now, from here, this first, or the next set of zigzags, we're going to do the opposite direction as what we have done already. So I like to start here, because I kind of want to mimic the same angle. You know, I work towards having that same angle as I had before. All right. Then the next one. So we did one. We did the opposite direction or mirrored it. The next one, we're going to aura this one. So this, and it does go in this same order. So it's like, you know, first mirror, then aura. It does have that pattern. Sometimes what's hard to pay attention to, or I should say what we have to pay attention to, is which direction we're going, you know, like which step that we're on, so that way, because otherwise then it doesn't do the tangle any good. All right, then next we are going to do the opposite direction. And actually, I want to say from here, it's just, after you get that first one done, then it's just mirror and then aura. And I do like to do these, I'm making sure I'm right, yes. You know, it's just one, yeah, sometimes I just have to look back just to make sure. Okay, oh, and let me get, that was an aura, so this is going to go this way. Get my little partial guys there. And then we're going the opposite direction. Okay, and then we're going to aura again. All right, and then I have my little partials here, which I have to make up. So if I was continuing on, oh, I guess I can do this top one. This would be then the mirrored. And what I'm doing, if you don't know, is I'm doing just these partials. And so what you do is we call this the Hallabau technique. And actually, let's see. Hold on a second. Okay, I think this one is actually going to be aura'd. I made this mistake as I was doing the step outs. I had to redo them. And this is why I say this is mostly an exercise in paying attention to which direction that we're going. All right. Oh, and what I was about to say, so I'm doing these little partials. If you've not seen that before, when I do this little curvy border, I like to pretend like I'm working underneath the border. So in these partials, I pretend as if I'm doing, you know, the whole stroke that I did, but I know that I'm just doing a partial, so then I pick up my pen as soon as I get to that string line. That way you know. All right, so now that this is done, I'm going to actually grab a thicker pen here. There it is. I think I'll grab my graphics one I was using. I usually mention I didn't. This is the Micron 01 pen that I was using. All right, so now we get to the filling in section. Now, so some of mine are a little bit wonky. If I can't bring them in this way. If I was coloring in this section, no. But so for this tangle, we have certain places that we are indeed coloring in. And essentially, so you see you have these rows of essentially diamonds, right? Split in half. Those are what we're going to fill in. And if you, this is where you could do a course correction, and it's, I haven't mentioned it yet on this video, but there's no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle. So we just do with, you know, how we have, like I said, this was a little bit weird. I can't help that because I'd want it to be angled more this way, and I can't fix that when I'm doing the filling in. If I had to go out a little bit more, then I could. So just know that. Although, yeah, that's all right. Yes, in this one too, but it's okay. Sometimes it's nice to, you know, part of it, it doesn't really matter, but I know having some perfectionistic tendencies that it's like, oh, I really want it to be perfect, so therefore I should throw this away and start over. Don't do that. Actually, yeah, if you're, well, depending on what you're working on, save them. I do have something coming up that where I'll be using, you know, tiles that I didn't like or whatever. So do save them. And I think I will save you from all of the rest of this coloring in. But you see, so we're doing these solid diamonds. And actually, when you're using a thicker pen, just a tip, I like to kind of go around the perimeter if I can. Sometimes, I mean, just because this is a fine point in here also, depending on the angle, sometimes I will just leave that empty and come back with the finer pen because I don't want to make that any bigger. I just want to fill in. But I will go around the perimeter so that way I can safely then, you know, do more of a scribble with the pen and not worry about going outside of those lines. All right, so let me finish coloring these in. I don't think I have any other tidbits of information or words of Zentangle wisdom for you on the art of coloring things in. The biggest thing was just that it is the #1, at least in my book, way to course correct that there is. So I will be right back. All right, all filled in. Almost like the cooking show, except a cooking show, except I didn't have one prepared. I just finished it. Easier to pause and do that. All right, now I will mention one thing. If you're using a thicker pen, just be careful where you put your fingers. But we do have shading to do. So with that, so this is almost the last step of our pattern. Then, like I said, we have shading. And we are just going to shade one of these sides. And actually, because this is the most, I'm going to start here. So what I found easy with this one, because we want to do the same angle. So this one is leaning, this like rectangle square is leaning to the right. So I'm going to put some graphite in all of those. Okay. So it's not going to be every single one. You can kind of like get started with one and do every other one, but what I found is just to focus on the one that is turning in that direction. So this helps with that illusion part. And you don't have to fill it all the way in, because I'm gonna take the tortillon and add, smush it around. That's what I like to say. We smudge it. And then, so what's neat about that is that it blends it, as well as it smooths it out so nicely. Okay, I want to make sure I got all my little partial guys in here, and then this here on this end also. Okay, now for the tortillon magic. And so with the tortillon also, just making sure not to go into the section you don't want it. So that's where I'm kind of, sometimes I'll do little pushing. Generally, I am doing little circles like this, bringing it in, and then I am moving my tile, so that way I am not getting it where I don't want it. But isn't it neat how it smooths it out? It makes it just this beautiful, like, solid gray. So as I'm doing it, I am, I'm going over a little bit on the black. You do have to be careful, especially like this, because, with all of that wetness, we'll call it, from the pen, it would have helped if I would have gone in some kind of an order. Because then I'm looking for, where did I miss? All right, right there. I want to do a little bit. Okay. And there you can see the 3D-ness of it. And this is where sometimes I think having it a little bit smaller helps. And now you could also, let's just put a little bit more, a little bit darker, because I do want to have it contrast with the the white. So kind of, it's, of course, the gray is right in the middle of the other, and I think that might help things a little bit. Let's see. But just shading that one side, and shading that one side consistently, is what gives us this kind of cube effect, or kind of like sort of honeycomb, although it's, they're like diamonds or squares. Oh, look at that! This will date me. If those of you won't remember the game Q*bert, that's what that looks like right there. But so it's kind of neat how when you change the direction, it changes, what it looks like, or it just, I don't know, it just changes the perspective, which is just really, really cool. So anyway, so that is Beeline. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, would love to have a thumbs up. And also in the comment section, I will have these step outs and information on how you can connect with me. If you're on Facebook, we have a nice Tangle Addicts community. I'm working to do a little bit more on Instagram. I do have an account. I just haven't gotten in the habit of posting things there as much as I would like to. So with that, I wish you a lot of fun with this, and happy tangling.